Previously, in the dungeon of the Mad Mage, within the protective walls of Spiderwatch Keep, the party, or at least 3 of its members, rested. Matashtai had fallen, struck down by Gorthax Ovrindar. But, thanks to Velena, his body had not turned to ash. Upon completing their mission and returning both Dirzana Freth and Arachnophane to safety, Ashes, Bones, and Ezrah petitioned Erelal Freth, the Great Mother, to resurrect Matashtai. She agreed, though only if the party paid for the ritual. She could not appear to favor any particular person, not when so many of her own had perished in this war. The party agreed, but Erelal would need time to prepare the ritual. Ezrah met with Rilna Freth to discuss the evolving scenario of the party's involvement in Frethian politics, as well as the return of her niece. And then the party rested. Meanwhile, Matashtai, wherever he was, experienced a memory of his past, of when he was in a space vessel, traveling with his best friend Darren Tash and his mentor Liu Soon, and when they were attacked by Githyanki. But the memory was off somewhat. Things didn't quite match up with real events. But he did re-experience his mentor's death, his best friend's sacrifice. After experiencing the memory, the monk found himself on the edge of nothing, where his master awaited him. The two spoke of whether this was the end of Matashtai's journey, and the monk said that he did not believe it was, but he knew that something had happened to his connection with Velena. Liu soon posited that Velena's sacrifice might have returned her to Dalcor, known as the Region of Dreams, the original home of the quarry. If Matashtai wanted to reestablish his connection with her, he would need to discover a way to get there and to find her. As Matt's consciousness waned and he felt himself leaving the edge of nothing, he asked Liu Soon if he had seen Darren. Master said no, implying perhaps that Darren Tash had survived the ordeal. On the next morning, Erelal and Driven Freth met with the party to resurrect Matashtai. It was an hour-long process in which Erelal seemed to argue with one or more beings. During the ritual, the party brought out Wolf. Ezrah and Ashes spoke private words of encouragement, need, and friendship to Matashtai's still-cold body. And Bones, from the harsh savannas and jungles of Maztica, had nothing to express with words that hadn't already been expressed with actions.
Look, I'm not a wolf, alright?
And then, without much pomp and circumstance, the ritual was done, and Matashtai breathed. It took some time for the monk to actually awaken, but when he did, he spoke to the party about what had happened, about the situation with Velena, about the need to find her. Preparing to leave, the party headed to meet with Erelal and Driven, though not before Bones spoke to them privately. The Tabaxi was concerned by the feeling of missing something that had occurred after being touched by the shadow of the mountain. The two had no immediate answer, though it did seem as perhaps they had an idea, and Driven committed to investigating the matter further. When the party as a whole spoke to the rulers of House Freth, they were somewhat concerned about the overall timeline before them. Giving battle to House Ovrindar while Matashtai was weakened and needing to find his friend seemed like a poor option. Fortunately, it seemed as if the party had time to pursue their new path. The Frethians were ready to battle House Ovrindar in spirit, but not in practice. Many hazards and difficulties lay between the two drow houses, putting whoever attacked first at a serious disadvantage. Plus, the party needed to speak with its allies and coordinate. Thus it was decided the party would journey topside, speaking with its various allies along the way, and look for a dream specialist. For Driven Freth had informed them that getting to Dalcor would be all but impossible without a guide, perhaps a night hag or an acolyte of the Lady of Dreams. And so, a path was laid out before them. Head upward, speak to their allies along the way, prepare them for the coming battle, recuperate and look for a dream guide, find their way to Dalcor, find and, if necessary, rescue Valenna, return and pave the way for House Freth's assault on House Avrandar, lead the attack against Vlonwelv, cutting the head from the snake, and ending one of the major threats to their safety and the safety of their friends and allies. Their battle against House Avrandar had been something they'd been experiencing for a long time now. A constant thorn in their side. And there was something more. Part of prophecy. The worm's 9 tongues corrupt with honeyed lies. The queen sits upon her glossy black throne. The 7 are the key. Sever the 7 strings from the 8th before the 9 are reborn in shadow. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.